Hey everyone, welcome to Good Vibrations Tarot, and this is the third podcast. I just want to give a shout out to Oz Arab Media. This wouldn't be possible without them, so thank you. I appreciate it. So today's topic, mediumship. This is one of my favorite topics. So I need to follow a structure. I was just telling Julia here, who's helping me, that I need to follow a structure or I'll just be talking all day. Okay, so I need to look at my notes. First I want to start off with what's happening in the skies. So we'll look at the astrological aspects for February. If you happen to, I'm recording this on February 4th. Today's the 4th, right, yeah. Julia? Yeah. I'm recording it on the 4th. If you happen to be watching this at the end of February or even in March or April, whatever, just keep in mind, you can either ignore the updates that I'm about to give, or you can look back and say, oh, yeah, that did happen, this did happen, that, you might, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You know what I'm saying. All right, let's go. Astrological updates. So on February 1st, we had the full moon in Leo, and that was around 13 degrees. So full moon in Leo, it's a peak of emotional expression, creativity, and personal spotlight energy. This lunation brings themes of courage, self-validation, and heartfelt expression. The culmination of intentions set at the Leo new moon last year. It can reveal what's genuinely important in love, passion, and leadership before shifting into deeper internal work. So on February 3rd, which was yesterday because I'm recording on the 4th, Uranus stations direct in Taurus. So Uranus ends its retrograde in Taurus. So after months of internal upheaval regarding security, values, finances, and lifestyle, this shift restores forward momentum, and it's going to feel good for a lot of you. Expect breakthroughs in independence, innovation, and financial reorganization, especially sudden changes you've been anticipating. So these energies, some of the updates I'm giving you, these energies will be lasting a while, especially one that I'm about to tell you, not yet though. On February 6, Mercury enters Pisces. So Mercury has moved into Pisces on February 6. Communication becomes more intuitive, poetic, and empathetic, but less grounded in detail. Insights flow through feelings and imagination rather than logic, so trust intuition, but double check your facts. Pisces is, very dreamy energy, not really realistic. So on February 10, Venus enters Pisces. Pisces has had a lot of planets affecting in Pisces or around Pisces since 2003. I'm a Pisces sun, so I've been feeling it. So Venus entering Pisces can mean love, art, and aesthetic expression soften into a more compassionate, dreamy mode. Romantic idealism increases, as does artistic sensitivity and creative connection. Be aware of idolizing people or situations, especially if you're a Pisces. On February 13, Saturn enters Aries. This is huge, okay? So Saturn's moving into Aries. Saturn finally leaves Pisces. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I hate you, Saturn. So it finally leaves Pisces and enters Aries for its long transit through this sign. This is a major collective shift from emotional boundaries to self-assertion, discipline, and action-oriented responsibility. Saturn in Aries challenges us to structure individuality, harnessing initiative responsibly rather than impulsively. Aries is very impulsive energy. Okay, so on February 17, new moon plus annular solar eclipse in Aquarius. So solar eclipse in Aquarius, it's a reset button eclipse for community, networks, future goals, innovation, and collective identity. Eclipses often signal endings and beginnings with longer lasting impact, about 6 months to 2 years of influence. This one emphasizes progressive insight, connected intelligence, and social direction shifts. Aquarius is the technological sign. That's how I like to think of it. Aquarians love technology. Okay, so February 18, happy birthday, Pisces. The sun enters Pisces. Let me know in the comments if you're a Pisces. I'm on March 10. Okay, so sun into Pisces. This is a shift into a more receptive, reflective, and empathic, energetic climate. Pisces season softens focus on outer achievements and encourages inner healing, imagination, and spiritual attunement. February 20. This is the biggest one, okay? This hasn't happened, I believe, in 36 years, but there's some transit related to this. I'm not an astrologer, okay, as you can tell, but I know a lot. But there's some transit that related to the one I'm about to tell you, and we haven't had it in recorded since we've been recording astrology, like over 1,000 years, like 1,400 years. So we don't know when the last time it was. I just can't think exactly what it is, but it's related to this one. February 20, and this is big for Pisces, thank you. Saturn conjuncts Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. This is huge. One of the major highlights of the year. Saturn, which is all about structure, limits, and reality, meets Neptune, which is all about dreams, intuition, disillusion. It meets Neptune at the very first degree of Aries. This is huge. This rare conjunction, happening about once every 36 years, blends dreams with discipline, a time to turn vision into actual structure, but also to dissolve illusions that can't stand real-world scrutiny. It's a karmic balancing point. Vision meets accountability. This is huge for Pisces and Aries. Okay, on February 26, Mercury retrogrades. Boo. There's too many Mercury retrogrades in the year. Mercury retrogrades begins in Pisces. Communications, plans, and details can get fuzzy or delayed. Mercury retrograde in Pisces especially encourages revisiting emotional conversations, rethinking intentions, and integrating what showed up during the earlier Pisces ingress. Intuition becomes strong, but clarity might feel slippery. Essential themes for reflection before moving forward again. So other notable patterns this month. So Venus, Mercury, and Pluto into play. Venus and Mercury in Pisces will make artistic and emotional communications strong, especially in early to mid-February. These planets will interact with Pluto in Aquarius, intensifying transformation of relationships and deeper psychological patterns. And the first quarter moon in Gemini on February 24. This pushes for decisions, adjustments, communication refinement, and active engagement with ideas and information. A turning point in how you think and connect about your goals post-eclipse. So the overall themes. Early February is all about emotional culminating and independent breakthroughs. Mid-month, deep introspection, love and intuition rise, followed by responsible action and structural, it's right, isn't it? Structural? Yeah. Structural focus. Late February, integration of realistic dreams, reevaluation and reflection, and momentum through communication. Okay, if you have any questions, any comments, any corrections, please leave them in the comments, guys. Okay, so let's move on. we're discussing mediumship. This is my favorite. So what is mediumship? To sum up mediumship, it's when you are communicating with those spirits on the other side. Some people think it's, it's the work of the devil. It's evil. But no, if you actually experienced it, if you actually been to a medium that was able to connect with your loved ones, you would not be feeling fear. You would not be feeling, evil. You'd be feeling closure or happiness to hear from them. They may pass on messages that make you feel like, happy, happy. So no, it's not the work of the devil, okay? But yeah, it's communicating with spirit, and there's different ways to do that. So after I mention all these different clairs, I will talk about how mediumship works for me, okay? So, do I need my glasses? Getting older? Yeah, I do. 45. I'm turning 46. So the last few months, I've just noticed that, okay, I'm needing my glasses all the time now for reading. All right. Okay, so the different clairs. My strongest clair, I do experience a couple of them, not all of them, but my strongest, and I can't even pronounce this, claircognizance. Claircognizance. CLAIRECOGNIZANCE. Claircognizance. That's my strongest. And claircognizance is a clear knowing. So when I'm connecting with spirits, the reason claircognizance is my strongest is because I receive downloads. I just receive random names, random messages, and it's just like a knowing. I'm still struggling to trust them, but I've been learning to just say whatever downloads I get, and most of the time people do, they do confirm. So I'm realizing that claircognizance is my strongest clair. Anyway, the different clairs, guys. Okay, so claircognizance, clear knowing. Then you have clairvoyance. So that's another one that I do have. This is about seeing and seeing things with your mind's eye. It's not about seeing spirits. That's not clairvoyance. It's more about just seeing, and yeah, it's more in the mind's eye, because sometimes when I'm connecting with spirits, I'll see what they look like, what they looked like in the living, and it's just in my mind's eye. I get images, or they'll show me things. They might show me them playing with the dog. Like, I see things in my mind's eye. So that's clairvoyance. Then we have clairaudience. Can you guess what that is? Hearing. Okay, so some mediums are able to hear things. Hey, people that even don't identify as a medium, you may hear things. You may be sitting in your lounge room and you hear something. That could be spirit, okay? So a lot of people do have clairaudience, and you may not even know it. Then we have clairsentience, and this is about feeling. It's like a gut feeling. That's another one that I do have. I feel like I do have that. It's not my strongest. It's probably my second strongest, I reckon. Then we have clairalience. This is smelling. And I also believe that a lot of people out there who don't realize they have mediumship, like clair abilities, sometimes you might be getting dressed in the morning and you smell your partner who just passed away. You smell their cologne, their perfume. That's clairalience. Then we have clairgustance. I don't know if I'm pronouncing a lot of these right. Clairgustance is tasting. So when you're tasting things that you haven't put in your mouth. Then we have clairtangency, and this is about psychometry. So a lot of psychics, mediums, they will take, your loved one's jewelry or whatever, an object, and they're able to pick up messages from that object. That's called clairtangency. And then we have, how do I pronounce this one? Clairempathy. So that's about really feeling, sensing, feeling another person, an animal, their emotions. So what they're feeling, you're really feeling it. That's clear empathy. That's another one of mine that I do have, being a Pisces. Like that's a very Piscean Claire. Okay, so I wanted to discuss the misconceptions around mediumship. I already mentioned one before. It's not evil, okay? It's not the work of the devil. If it was, then people would be scared. They'd be fearful. They'd be they'd be screaming. It would be terrifying. The work of the devil is evil. And most, when I'm able to connect with people's loved ones during a reading, they're sitting there happy or crying happy because they're hearing messages. I'm giving them names. I'm giving them messages that relate to the person, which confirms for them that that person is in the room. And it makes them happy that they're hearing from them, knowing that they're there. That's not the work of the devil, okay? That's my opinion and my experience. So other misconceptions. Mediums cannot just switch it on. So if you come up to me, if I meet you in a club, in a coffee shop, and I tell you, that I do mediumship, that I practice mediumship, and you say to me, "Oh, can you sense my mother who just passed away?" Not all mediums walk around seeing the spirits, hearing the spirits, connecting with them 24/7. Good mediums that have been doing it a long time, the really good ones, which I'll mention a bit later, I feel like they are able to switch on, switch off. That's my opinion, but I feel like a lot of mediums like myself, I'm not able to just switch it on. I'll tell you my experience, but yeah, that's a misconception. Like not all mediums can just go, "Oh, yep, switch the light bulb on. Oh, yeah, I'm connecting." No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so mediums cannot remove curses. All right, that's another misconception. Not all mediums see spirits. I don't. I've only seen them in my mind's eye. I don't recall. Maybe in my peripheral vision, I've seen things like a lot of people would have, but no, I don't see spirits. Not when I'm communicating with them. So no, not all mediums see. It's not like the sixth sense. There's not all dead people walking around. And mediums are not fortune tellers, and they're not all knowing. They don't know everything. So they say, sorry, I need a drink. I just want to tell you a saying before I move on. My throat gets dry when I talk a lot. Sorry, guys. Okay. So going back to the misconceptions, I just wanted to finish with this is a saying, all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums, okay? Psychics read energy, mediums communicate with spirits, but a lot of mediums are also psychic. And I just want to say, like, all humans, like I'm human, all humans have the ability to connect, to be open, but not everyone is, okay? And a lot of people are afraid, like my mother. She won't watch this, so I can talk about her. But yeah, she's afraid of stuff like that. And she does think it's the devil's work because she follows the Bible. Okay, so I just wanted to mention a few of my favorite mediums. My first favorite, who is not world famous, but she's Sydney famous, but she stays small. She could be world famous if she wanted. Her name's Leanne, Leeann Cipri, Cipri. Look her up if you're in Sydney. She is amazing. I knew her before she got popular. Our children did swimming lesson. My daughter and her daughter did swimming lessons together, and that's when I met her. And obviously, I've always been into the occult, mediumship, astrology, tarot, and obviously, she was too. So we talked about it. And then when I first met her, I think she was starting to read for small groups for practicing, which is what I'm doing now. And then years later, she was just an acquaintance, but she's lovely. She's a lovely person. But years later, my best friend, who's my best friend now, she told me about her, and I'm like, I know her because she got a reading with her. She used to do one-on-ones. She doesn't do one-on-ones anymore because she's so popular. But yeah, I was lucky to meet her again and get a one-on-one with her, and she connected with my uncle, who sadly took his life 2017 or 18. She also predicted a few things, so she's psychic and medium. She connected with my grandpa, but yeah, they're just things. She's just amazing. She will tell you the first and last names of your whole family in the living and the ones who have crossed over. And even if they're hard names, 99% of the time, she's just picking up everyone's names. She's just amazing. You have to see her. She's the best I've ever seen. She's just so... They say that mediumship is like tuning into a radio station. Some mediums, they're still tuning in. It's a bit staticky like me. She's just spot on. She's just got the channel, and she's just communicate. They're all standing around her. She's communicating with them while she passes on messages to 100 people. She does shows in Menai, Ilford's Point, or that area somewhere. I've been to a few of them, but she didn't connect with my dad. But I'm going to go again. It's only $50. But yeah, she's amazing, okay? My other favourite mediums who I haven't met, they're overseas, they're famous. Teresa Caputo, some of you might have heard of her. She has huge blonde hair. She's amazing. Matt Fraser, he's one of the most famous. And other mediums you might have heard of, John Edward, James Van Praagh, Alison Dubois, they made a TV show about her. Tyler Henry, he always does celebrities, reads for celebrities. And Lisa Williams. And I'm sure there's more. Put their names in the comments for me. Okay, so I just want to talk about how mediumship works for me, and I have to be careful not to talk too long, okay? Because I have Julia here helping me, and I don't want to bore her to death. Okay, so rewinding, I've always been into this type of thing, mediumship, like I said, astrology, tarot. I discovered that I was capable of mediumship maybe about 7-8 years ago. I was just scrolling on Facebook. I joined the pages, the mediumship pages, and I was just scrolling. People post their photos hoping that someone will be able to pick up their loved one, or they post their loved one's photos. And I was just scrolling, looking at the photos. I saw a lady with blonde hair. I kept scrolling, but there was a voice in my head that said, no, go back to her and tell her that her father, John, is happy, on the other side. It was just a simple message, but I knew his name. He told me his name. And I told her. I was too scared, though, to say John. So I said, I felt like I picked up your dad and his name starts with J. And she's like, yeah, his name's John. And I'm like, I need to trust. And 7 years later now, today, I'm still learning that trust. I'm scared that I'm getting something wrong. But mediumship is not about performing. I'm not here to perform for you. I'm here to be open and receive whatever messages I get. If I interpret them wrong or if I get it wrong, I just have to accept that because I'm not perfect. But yeah, that's when I discovered, oh, wow, I really do have the ability. And that happened a few more times after that. I picked up their names. I picked up messages. I was starting to, my dad passed away for how many years ago? It'll be 5 years this year. So when he passed away, I was really starting to see signs everywhere, know that they were signs, feathers, butterflies, things like that. My dad sent me signs. I don't want to go into all that because then I'll be talking forever. But how mediumship works for me. Okay, so I'll tell you how I want it to work, and it will work like this for me one day soon, hopefully. I want to be able to be one of those mediums like my favourite medium, Leanne, but I have to accept that every medium's different and every reading's different. I want to be able to get up in front of a group of people, 10 people, whatever, and I just want to be able to open up, tune in, see whatever comes in, if I pick up names, messages, whatever, and then just be able to pass those messages on, and people go, yeah, you know, oh yeah, that's my dad, that's my sister. Oh yeah, she did die that way. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I want to be able to do. But at the moment, where I'm at, I'm doing one-on-ones with people, and my tarot cards, they are like my comfort blanket. It's a tool that I use, and I feel like because I can read the tarot, even if I'm not connecting, if I read for you, right? Even if I'm not picking up psychic messages like your ex's name or whatever, and if I'm not connecting with those who have passed over, at least I'm able to go, hey, these are your tarot cards. This is what I'm picking up from it. This is how I'm interpreting it. These are all the different meanings to the cards, and at least you'll get something out of it. So that's kind of like my comfort blanket at the moment. But how mediumship works currently for me, I have someone coming after I finish this podcast, and, you know, I'm asking Spirit, please come through. If it happens, it happens. That's what I have to accept. But what's been happening is I meditate for about 20 minutes to half an hour before they come. And it's usually before a phone call, a video call, or before they come to my house. So I'll sit there, you know, I'll close my eyes, I'll say their name over and over in my head. And it's like a channel kind of opens up because I'm relaxed. Nobody's watching me. I'm not under pressure. And that's when I receive downloads. Okay, I don't see, like I told you, I do see things in my mind's eye, but I don't hear words. It would be much easier if I could actually have a conversation with them and just write it all down. But I receive downloads, and they're just all random things. But I will talk to them, you know, in my head. I will say, does anyone wish to step forward? And then I might see someone in my mind's eye, or I might get a name, or I might get a feeling that, okay, a female step forward, and I might feel like it's a mother. I might get her name. I might get, I'll also ask them, can you tell me how you died? You know, how did you pass away? And there's a language, like I said, every medium's different, right? And I'm still developing the language with spirits because they have to show me things which I will be able to understand what they're talking about. Before I forget, I'll just give you an example of that. When I had like a small mediumship circle a couple of weeks ago, I was connecting with one of the lady's sisters who'd passed away. She put a movie in my head. What's that movie? The Green Mile. And I said it out loud. I have to say all these things out loud. And she knew what it meant. Because I'm getting goosebumps now. In the Green Mile, the main character, he's, you know, intellectually disabled. He's slow. And that's how her sister was. So, they're learning to give me things, and then I just say it to the person, and then they're able to realize, oh, wow, that's why she told you the Green Mile. So, we would know that that's your sister. She was intellectually disabled. But, yeah, now I've gone off track. So there's my ADHD, Julia. What was I saying? So when I'm connecting, this all happens right before I see the person, before they're coming to my house, before I call them. And it's frustrating for me. I mean, it's good that it happens. I write all this stuff down. I get names. I get this. I get that. I get things wrong, and that's disappointing if somebody doesn't resonate with everything that I say. But that happens. But it's happening before I meet them. And, I mean, it has happened when they're in front of me a few times. I've sensed spirits, or I've sensed where they are in the room. But it's frustrating for me because I want the person to be able to come, sit down, and then I'm still relaxed. I don't feel the pressure, and I'm able to just still communicate with the spirit that was just communicating with me before they walked through the door. A lot of the time it's not happening. But there's this one time that sticks out in my head. This lady came, this was last year, and I connected with everyone. I was sensing where they were in the room. Dad was here, Mum was over there. That told me that they were separated. See, they show me things. They were separated in the living, divorced. And then there was the auntie, and there was the grandma, and some other family member I can't remember. But I got all their first names, all of them. I couldn't believe it, and I sensed Dad was showing me like he was dressed like a cowboy, and he liked Clint Eastwood, and she was confirming all this. So that's one, that's what I'd love to happen. But another thing that you need to accept as a medium, it's not just you, it's the spirits. Do they know how to communicate with you? Are they strong? Some spirits are stronger when it comes to communicating. I don't know if that means because they've been passed away longer, they've been, on the other side for longer. I don't know. But you just have to remember that it's not just the medium. Do the spirits want to come through? Do they know how to? Do they trust the medium? Do they want to communicate? Do they want to pass on messages? It's not just the medium, okay? So yeah, that's where I'm at. I do have my very first group session at the end of February, and I just know that the pressure is. I don't want to manifest. I shouldn't say I just know that the pressure is going to get to me and it's not going to work. I shouldn't say that. But it's just hard. I've got these people coming and they're hoping, they're expecting that I will pick up things. And I know what I'm supposed to feel and think, but the human part of me is like, they're watching me. It's pressure. I have to perform. But I have to remember that mediumship is not about performing. So yeah. That's about my mediumship. If you want to listen to more of my mediumship journey, I did post a video on my YouTube channel, Good Vibrations Tarot, just not that long ago, so you can have a look. What else did I want to say? Oh, yeah, I just wanted to give a mention to one of my favorite supporters on my channel, Good Vibrations Tarot, Jocelyn. Thank you for your support. I just wanted to mention to everyone because in the last podcast, I said that I would do a free reading for someone. I'd pick somebody who commented, and that was Jocelyn. So I've already done her reading. I actually connected with her stepfather. Didn't I, Jocelyn? Even though I didn't get any messages, his name kept popping into my head and I kept saying it while I was recording your reading. I'm like, do you know an Alex? Do you know an Alex? So he was there and he was trying to communicate. Okay, so we'll do the tarot card of the day. Okay, so we're just going to pull a card and it's just the energies for today, or the energies, the day that you're watching this. You may resonate, you may not. But we'll call it the tarot card of the day. Okay, one more shuffle. And I can finally take these glasses off. I'm sweating. You have to wear your glasses 24/7, Julia?
Yeah.
That's me now. All right, tuning in the energies for today. Okay, universe, spirit guides, angels, please and thank you. What message do you have for my listeners for today? I feel like it's going to be a fire sign, maybe Sagittarius. That's what it was in the last podcast. Oh, it's all signs of the zodiac, so I wasn't wrong. Okay, we have the Judgment card, everyone. Let me just sit with this for a few seconds. Like I said, Judgment card is all signs of the zodiac. Okay, so what I'm intuitively picking up from this, I will give you the different meanings to the cards. You might be able to see them on the video, but what I'm intuitively getting from it is somebody in your life that you possibly, that did something bad, that you've been holding a grudge against. It's time for forgiveness. So the judgment card is about making the right judgment call. But I'm heavily getting forgiveness energy from this, and I feel like it's to do with someone who did you dirty, someone in your life, or maybe someone from the past. And I just feel like you may, even if you don't realize, you may still be holding on to that energetic cord. There could be grudges. You haven't dealt with it. You haven't faced it. You haven't let it go. And forgiveness, remember, forgiveness is so you can heal and move on. I'm getting really heavy forgiveness energy from this judgment card. It's in the upright, okay? The other meanings to the judgment card is awakening. It's renewal, composure, decisiveness, homesickness, snap judgments, apportioning blame. Like I said, forgiveness, final reckoning, a final examination. As you sow, so shall you reap. A mandatory choice that will change life for the better. That's the tarot card of the day. Let me know in the comments. Do you resonate with that? Is there somebody who did you dirty? Okay, so we are almost done, guys. What did I have to... Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say, if there's any questions, if you have your own mediumship stories you'd like to share with everyone, please put it in the comments. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. I appreciate you. And I was going to let you know what the next podcast topic was going to be, but I haven't decided. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, if you could please give me some suggestions, put it in the comments for me, because I just have no idea. I've already spoken about tarot, misconceptions around tarot. Today was mediumship. I don't even remember what the second one was. I don't remember, because it's been a few months since we did the second one. Anyway, I'll think about it and I'll look at your suggestions. So please give me some suggestions. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. And I just want to say thank you again to Oz Arab Media. Thank you, Julia, for helping me. Bye, guys.